next part of the assignment is going to involve you comparing both of your characters. So yesterday, you kind of reflected on how each character would respond to a different situation. Today, you're going to decide what would bring those two characters together, and then you're going to plot out your adventure, the dialogue that you're going to be writing between your two characters. So the first thing you need to do is on the yellow paper, I want you on the side that says fictional crossover, just like I have on the screen. If you notice, I am doing Salva and Wendell just like I presented yesterday. The first thing you need to do is fill out this box, which has the names and descriptions of the two characters. For mine, I said that Salva lost his family during the Civil War. He's from Sudan. He started the Water Foundation. And then Wendell lost his family to a car accident and a gunshot. He is from Cleveland. He works as a custodian and he gardens in his spare time. After you have this box filled out, I want you to jump down here and I want you to think about what would bring these two people together for a meeting. In other words, what are some things they have in common that would put them in the same place at the same time? So for Salva and Wendell, I thought they are both interested in agriculture, which would be like gardening. Maybe they are at a support group for a lost family. They both lost family members, so that might bring them together. They might be traveling and meet somewhere in an airport or at a new destination, or they may simply meet each other in a park enjoying some time outside. So find 4 things that might bring your two characters together. Next, I would like you to find 5 to 7 topics that the two characters could talk about and record your ideas here. Here are some that I thought that Wendell and Salva could talk about. They could talk about planting, traveling, losing a loved one, simply talk about the weather or people in the neighborhood, or problems they want to solve in their community. Okay, so now that you have a comparison of the two characters, you have ideas on what might bring them together, and then ideas on what they could talk about. Here is where you're going to decide what your final decision is going to be on what your characters are going to do in your story. I have decided that Wendell is going to organize a book drive for a new school that Salva built. So in my fictional crossover, Salva has built a new school in a village in Sudan. And because Wendell also works at a school, he has heard about this and is going to host a book drive to raise books for Salva's new school. So you need to have all of these boxes filled out just like I have them here. Next comes the challenging part, but also the part that will help you stay very organized. On your paper, I want you to copy down the numbers that I'm having put in boxes right now. This is the order that I want you to fill out this plot diagram. This is going to act as your roadmap for your dialogue. The dialogue is the story that you're going to write, but you're going to write, as I told you, like a reader's theater. So it's going to be like a script between the two characters. First, I want you to fill out the exposition box. Who are the characters and where is it going to take place? My two characters are Salva and Wendell, and it's going to take place in a public library. Next, we're going to jump to 2. Remember, a conflict means what's the main problem. Here is my main problem. Wendell wants to collect donated books for Salva's new school in Sudan. We're now going to jump up to number 3, the climax, which is the most suspenseful moment. So you need something in your story that is going to be exciting. Just like in Seed Folks, you can't have a tornado, a shark attack, and a deadly fire. It needs to be something believable and something that can take place within 1 to 2 hours of time. Okay, so it can't be too long or too crazy. For me, the most suspenseful moment is it's been 2 hours and no one has shown up to the book drive. So both men are getting very worried. We're going to jump down to number 4, the resolution. How is the main conflict resolved? Wendell decides he's going to travel to Sudan to deliver the books himself. Okay, so they end up getting the books and it ends with Salva and Wendell making plans for Wendell to bring the books to South Sudan. So after I have boxes 1, 2, 3, and 4 filled out, I'm now going to connect the dots by including what happens, what events make the conflict worse, and then how do they start to fix the conflict. So here are my different events. You need to have at least 5 or 6 events happen throughout the story. So event 1, Salva comes to the library. The two have already talked on the phone. So you need to decide, how do these characters know each other already, or is this the first time they are meeting? In my case, they've already talked, but they've never met. Event 2, they start talking about their families and earlier life. This is where I will start making connections for both books. Event 3, Wendell starts getting concerned about the lack of donations. Then we hit the climax where it's been 2 hours and no one has shown up. Wendell gets a phone call from Leona and realizes that the date on the flyer was written incorrectly, and that's why no one has shown up. Everyone, for event number 2, event number 2 on the falling action towards the resolution, everyone shows up with hundreds of books. Okay, so Leona ends up calling everyone in the Cleveland neighborhood, and they end up bringing books, leading to the resolution of Wendell deciding to take all the books to Sudan. So by the time class is over, you need to have, sorry about this. Sorry, you need to have this fictional crossover side done, as well as this plot diagram.